A difficult record for a Louis.
You know what it made me think of? Flash Gordon. That what is it, like a 70s-ish old sci-fi?
You think it sounds like reminds you of Queen?
Well, it's kind of like a march.
Well, yeah, it's based on a famous classical piece by Ravel. So yeah, that bit at least.
Okay, so it is actually a march.
Yeah,
Look at me.
classical music piece.
Well,
I've got a great description I found that calls this a 3-minute, 3-part instrumental based on Ravel's classical music piece that's loaded with guitar effects, slides, dual solos, distortion, and a hyperdrive ending that barely catches its breath before swinging back to its original inspiration.
You almost ran out of breath there, didn't you? But you made it through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
made it through. Yeah,
Hyperdrive. Well, that's that's what it did feel, sort of sci-fi, like, maybe the Emperor is at the top there and he's surrounded by the
Emperor's at the top.
flying monkeys.
The top of what? Like a
Brian Blessed going
a hill of beans.
some sort of palace or whatever, and he's looking down. There's minions, and there's Brian Blessed as a flying monkey going, "Hey, Flash Gordon is alive!"
One
and
thing
then
I
mix
noticed
in the background. Go on.
that you very quickly with music, and you did this in the previous podcast. You very quickly go to space and aliens, don't you? You with the smog.
Right.
Remember that smog track you said? Is this?
Well, that did have.
So you're very quick to go into space with your head.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love a sci-fi.
Not a massive surprise in some ways.
And the surprising thing is I spend any time
due to the amount of space in it.
Oh,
that was good. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that one.
I'll have you know, I was trying out virtual reality recently in my head. The headset, you have to adjust the band. Turns out, I have to loosen the band. I've got such a big brain.
Well, you got a thick skull. I'm enjoying this.
I need to have a thick skin around you, Nigel
do.
Thomas, with this relentless abuse.
Relentless. But at least you're not dead, unlike Jeff Beck,
Right.
who died on the 10th of January, 78. He died from a bacterial meningitis infection. That doesn't sound like the most... And it's not being fried as a potato, but it's not. It doesn't look pleasant. And he was a member of the Yardbirds before forming the Jeff Beck group. Yardbirds, can you name a famous Yardbirds song?
Nope.
For Your Love is probably one of the most famous.
Go on, hum it.
For your love, You know it. I'm not going to sing it, but I'll play it to you later. You know it.
Grumpy.
And on that track, Louis, you must know the Yardbirds, Louis. Come on.
I don't. Maybe I don't
know. But on this track, this was his first solo single, recorded while he was still in the Yardbirds. Very famous band. You know the song. Keith Moon on drums.
Oh, I know Keith Moon.
Yep.
Like Animal was based on from Muppets. Was based on them.
Yeah. And what band was Keith Moon?
Oh, good. Was he Rolling Stones?
No, because in the first podcast we talked about the death of the Rolling Stones drummer.
Ah, you're assuming
Charlie.
that I listen to things you say.
Oh God. The Who.
The Who.
Yep.
Right.
And John Paul Jones on bass and Jimmy Page doing some nice epic guitar. John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page. They were from. What band were they from, Louis?
The Who?
Jimmy Page. No.
The Yardbirds?
No. Famous rock band from the 70s. Very famous. Jimmy Page.
I have no idea.
John Paul Jones.
Don't know. Why should I know this?
Well, because they're very famous. Led Zeppelin.
Oh, right. That's
Led
a famous band.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's what I said.
Yeah. Not everyone has an encyclopedic knowledge of music like you, Nigel.
It's true. You've seen This Is Spinal Tap, haven't you?
Yes.
The character of Nigel Tufnell was based on Jeff Beck.
Oh, the singer of this.
Yeah.
Except there was no singing.
No, this was an instrumental, but yeah.
And it was funny because it was only about like 3/4 of the way through. I went, hang on, there haven't been any lyrics. But
no.
It had like taken
You were listening
me along.
out for them, were you? It's a good song for you, really, because you can just focus on the lovely music. But he's considered one of the generation's greatest guitarists, very influential, technical skill, versatile playing. Yeah. He stopped using the guitar pick in the 1980s. He used a wide variety of sounds using his thumb to pluck the guitar strings and the ring finger on the volume knob and his little finger on the vibrato bar
Now,
on his Fender.
Some people, don't they grow a thumbnail specifically?
Yeah, that's sort of, if you want to, but you can get plectrums that you kind of put that go round, but some people do. Yeah.
You ever done that or been tempted to?
No. I've never done that style of guitar playing.
Is that more flamenco or something? Is it?
It's more sort of folk.
Oh, okay.
Certain types of folk. It's not an easy style to play, that's for sure. So
I don't know if we should go here, but it does remind me of the thing.
Louis, I love that look on your face. There's a certain look on your face when you're thinking like you're going to say something naughty. It's like a sort of children's smile. Ooh,
this is one of those.
Go on.
There's another occupation of people who grow out a special thumbnail, and that is a certain type of rabbi who specialises in circumcises baby boys' penises.
Yeah.
And rather than use a scalpel, as you would imagine in modern day, especially grown-out sharpened thumbnail does the job.
You got to keep some traditions, It's a nice continuity, don't you think?
Well, apparently, someone I know who's a doctor, two of his sons got circumcised. The first one they got like a proper doctor to do it with a scalpel, right?
Yeah.
And he said it made a hell of a job of it. It was a big palaver. Next time they get in the rabbi, and he was like, done. Baby hardly cried.
There you go.
So sometimes the old ways are the
best.
Good ways.
Yeah.
Another fact next time. I can't funny. How are we talking about this?
Oh.
Why are we? Okay, anyway.
He famously wrote a song you will have heard of. In fact, you've probably sung this in your room at the top of your voice with curlers in your hair, getting ready for a night out of shandies. Hi ho, silver lining.
Hi ho, silver lining.
I didn't ask you to sing it. Yeah.
You foreshadowed it.
So how about that?
Well, Jeff Beck, good on him.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite different from the rest of his output, but I thought, first single and all those people on it, amazing. Jimmy Page, Keith Moon.
It was almost like a funeral march, actually. Dun, 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 dun. So rest in peace, Jeff Beck. But your spirit lives on through your funeral march.
What song, and I'll make a note of this, what song do you want played at your funeral?
Oh.
As the curtains close, as the coffin...
I mean, instantly...
with your mangled, twisted body in it, your mouth still open, distorted in agony. What song? with your weeping parents, with your weeping parents, and your
right. Well, two came to mind instantly. Right, the first was Louie Louie, whoa, some version of that.
Right,
one of the most covered tunes ever. That one. Or the next one, I know Monty Python. Who was the one to die? The first one to die?
Graham Chapman.
So at his funeral, obviously they played "Always Look on the Bright Side of Life." So that might be fun.
Yeah. Do you want swearing at your? There's that clip, isn't there, of John Cleese doing Graham?
Oh yeah.
Seen that? Or
he's like, I just want to be the first person at this funeral to say the word "cunt" or whatever it was.
Was it fuck?
May have been fuck.
Yeah. So you want those, do you? Those two? You want Louis Louis? And everyone go, oh, Louis picked this. Why? Because his name's Louis.
Oh, wait. On the way here, I was listening to that Emilia Torini tune,
Really?
Fisherman's Wife. That's such a beautiful, haunting tune, and it's about her dead husband. Maybe that.
Yeah,
I've learned from this Music Natters podcast.
Wow.
I've been listening.
Have you listened to the rest of the album as well, or just that song?
I did. There was two crackers on it. Then I was like, "Come on, Amelia, sort of cheer up a bit." So, but I love those two, and I've been listening to Steely Dan.
Wow, this is such a change, Lee. This is
progress, isn't it? I've been. And what was the one? The one I said I'd listen to while I was running
Muse.
I listened to the album while doing a Zombies Run.
What do you think of that?
Brilliant, perfect.
Powers you through, doesn't it?
Yeah. While the story's going, there's the zombies after me, and then meet some guy with a motorbike, and I'm just like, and it's all this post-apocalyptic music. It's perfect. So I feel like through this podcast, I am broadening my musical horizons. I know I'm still a Luddite, but and I hope that listener at home. You feel the same.
That's right. Yeah, I'm sure they will. I could have... sorry to go back to it, but I was just thinking for my funeral, I could get a version of, they're only making plans for Nigel. Yeah, that's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking they're no longer making plans for Nigel. Something like that. And then maybe some backing because he's dead.
For Nigel.
No longer making plans for Nigel. He is too dead to do anything. Something like that would be quite nice.
I was thinking more, ding dong, the witch is there.
That kind of works if you're for a woman, though, doesn't it?
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Yeah. That's. But you should have done that one instead of the witch one.
Things can only get better.
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh, that's
that
good.
Kind of
actually,
thing. Yeah.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you. Nigel Thomas's calls.
Like first dance songs. That's another one. Another funny one, isn't it? Thing like, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
And you know there's someone out there who has done that.
Yeah.
Without thinking it through.
What would your first dance be? And don't embarrass me. Oh, is it?
Alchemy Rose.
Really?
By Nigel Thomas. Listener, if you've not listened to it, it's on Spotify and all the other places. Or why not pay for it and download it?
But watch the video because you can see Louis being cool and sing.
You will see the day I met my girlfriend dancing in that music video. Mm-hmm. And who knows? That could be our first dance. Yeah. If we believed in the institution of marriage, which we don't.
Is that what? That's what she said to get out of it. I just want to see you dance to it, Lee.
What do you mean?
I just want to see you dancing to Alchemy Rose.
Oh, yeah, no, I hate dancing, I know, yeah. So, I mean, the idea of doing a first dance is a bit... But I have a little project for myself, actually.
Learn to dance?
I'm planning to learn to dance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I've said that too soon. I should wait. I should wait for failure, shouldn't I, before apologising? But
there's a new swing jam. Is that a type of dance? Swing dance?
Swing jam?
Is that it? Swing dance? The place is called...
You sure this isn't some swingers club? This is an accident waiting to happen.
Anyway, you know, that's whatever. That's the name of the club. It's called something like that.
And what kind of dance are you learning? Like a jazz kind of...
I think that, yeah. Because we did... Around Christmas, we went to the South Bank, and there was a dance class there randomly, and we did some of that jazz dance, I think it's called, and that was right laugh. So that is the plan. Take it up, learn to dance.
Brilliant.
It's never too late.
I don't actually agree with that, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, as long as you enjoy it.
You much of a dancer?
As long as you enjoy it. No. I've done I like for musicals and things, but I struggle with it. I got people who can dance. I've got a lot of respect for people who can remember the moves, but I just struggle to remember. I can remember lyrics and monologues and things like that easily, but dance moves, it just takes me a while.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even talking about... I mean, there's
not my forte.
But what about just like at a party or at a nightclub? You the one on dance floor? Or you? I imagine you're more like stand at the back, nodding, listening to the lyrics.
Standing at the back, shaking my head more. Like. I'll dance if I have to,
If you have to.
If it comes to it.
I think we shout some shout-outs before we finish this. No,
shout-outs?
I don't mean shout-outs. I mean...
You can't... What's wrong with shouting out? Well, don't shout.
Well...
Do some reasonably spoken outs.
Let's do reasonably spoken out. Well, what I actually meant to say was plugging things. We'll have to edit this because this is ridiculous.
I'm not editing this, Louis, because the world needs to know.
I could give a shout out to my fans number 2 and 3. Jules and her boyfriend, whose first name doesn't come instantly to mind. But I was at a horror movie screening, and Jules came up, and a person came up to me and went, "Oh, excuse me, did you do stand-up comedy, Angel Comedy?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." And they remembered me from months ago.
Wow.
And it's happened to me once before when I was at a cinema. So my fans, I've discovered, are cinema goers, right? And I'm up to 3. Fans 2 and 3.
So do you think there are 2 options here? Do you think they remembered you because you were very good? Or very bad?
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, if I was bad, they wouldn't have come up and said anything, would they?
Sympathy. You think, oh, there's that guy. Go on. No one was talking to him in the end. We should say something now.
Well,
go up and say...
Shout out to Jules and... her boyfriend.
Are they going to be listening to this? Definitely not.
I can't remember if I told them about it, but I will.
Well, let's just say, let's make it more broadly, a broad shout out to anyone called Jules.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly. Right. Now, plugs. So, do you like stand-up comedy? Come see me. I'm emceeing at, and this is ridiculous that I'm doing it, the Backyard Comedy Club. Look at that photo. Tell me who that comedian is.
Oh, I know. That's Chappelle.
Yeah. I'm going to be on the same stage that Chappelle did. There's no reason I should be.
You won't be there at the same time.
Not at the same time,
No.
And it's not a proper professional comedy night. It's going to be a new act showcase, but I will be there comparing Come Down, and that is on the Monday, the 5th of June.
We'll put all these details for you to
put in the show
click
notes.
in the show notes.
And also, if you don't make that, or this podcast goes out so late that we've already missed it, 27th of July at the Shirkers Rest in New Cross, the Underground Comedy Club, and that's going to be upstairs at the Shirkers Rest, and will be emceeing that as well. So come down; it's a lovely, intimate room.
I suppose if you're emceeing, there's the added advantage that you won't be doing much comedy.
The advantage.
Sometimes I look at you and I just wonder, have I struck too deep?
Poking
has my knife gone too deep into his back? I'm wondering sometimes.
Oh, there will be plenty of comedy. I'll be messing around with the audience. There will be jokes galore. There'll be fun times.
Well, I might try and come down to that first
Come
one.
down.
Yeah, come on down.
Yeah. I've got a spare room if you need somewhere to crash.
Nice. Are you talking to me or to everyone? Talking to our listener.
Thankfully, we've only got the one listener. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of crowded.
Yeah.
Nice. No, that was specifically to you, Nige. Come down. It's in a pub local to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So there.
I've got a few more death quotes.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of you being on stage.
Speaking of me dying
just
on
coming
stage.
to me today, isn't it?
Oh, there's nothing worse than dying
every
on a
time I
comedy
say something
stage.
nasty to you, I always think back to John saying in his notes that he said, I don't think you should be nasty to Louis.
Oh, was that some feedback?
Yeah, that was one of his. But yeah.
Oh, but surely this is the
He
magic
said,
of our
people won't
relationship.
like it.
Oh, well, write in, listener, whether you like it or not. I don't mind. I think this is the wonderful chemistry.
Because, as I've said before, John is just a better person than I am. A few quotes here, and this is quite a nice quote.
Yeah.
From my rotting body, flowers shall grow, and I am in them, and that is eternity.
Hakuna Matata, yeah.
Edvard Munch, painter.
Yeah. That's nice.
Dying is one of the few things that can be done as easily as lying down. It's by Woody Allen. Slightly controversial, Woody Allen, but that's what he said.
It reminds me of, I've done this type of meditation you can do, and it's called dying for a moment. And you lay down. If you heard this, you're looking at me shocked at this. Right, this is an actual thing, right? Yeah. John Kabat-Zinn, a hippie from the 70s, probably listened to half the tunes that are on this podcast back in the day, right? Yeah. He goes off to India, like the Beatles did, learned all about, and comes back, teaches it. So you lay on your back with your arms across you, like in that death pose.
Yeah.
Like you're in a coffin.
Like mummies and...
Yeah, like a mummy. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And just imagine that you're dead and just lay there, and what's that like? And it's strangely refreshing. You know, and it sort of puts things in perspective, and you're like, it's just quite relaxing. So I
don't think I'm going to do that. Because I've got, billions of years to practice that when I am actually dead. So when I'm alive, I'm going to spend it, enjoying it with music and art, and I'm not going to lie down and pretend I'm dead.
I mean, you could think about music and art while you're there.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. You've changed my mind, Louis. Well, I will give it a go. I suppose it's good if you're relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you're a bit stressed, just just think, I could be dead.
Yeah,
and if I was dead, all
I
the
do
stress
think that sometimes
wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And strangely, it's like this slight mind trick. But then you go back to your stresses, and you're like, oh, they're not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing really matters.
Nothing really matters. So we finished. Have we got any more
quotes?
It.
No, that's it. Well, I'm going to finish on a quote from Franz Kafka. He's an author. We're going to do more of these too, because I hate to say it, but I fear more people will die. So, and other people have died. I could have included, but we will do.
We'll do this.
I think death should be a regular part of the podcast.
Sure. Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Because
it's been a nice one.
And the quote is, well, I'm going to say like this podcast, but the quote is, the meaning of life is that it stops.